what happened with that character, because in second Mass Effect, her voice is so emotionless. Even though I understood that mostly your most in terms of romance and probably in terms of friendship, I think Liara is the most, like so many others. There's so many people who like Tali. I also like Tali, but I just recently found out that Tali is, despite her having the option of being with Shepard in second Mass Effect, and you can then again made this option for Dragon A from Mass Effect 3 to rekindle your romance there. But I don't understand why you can't do this in Mass Effect 3. Why you can only made her romanceable in second Mass Effect? Why only this? Why not allow us to just have the ability of romancing her in third game? Why only this? This music right now reminds me of Baldur's Gate 3. I don't know why. So yes, and Scout Harding is voice acted by this character, but so many people tried. I think most of them wanted to romance her in the Inquisition, but it wasn't an option. But then they gave us that option. But what do we have? We have the most generic, the most boring, the most not interesting romance out of them all. The new chick who is who is giving you and what the hell is wrong with her design? Why is this hat? Who is wearing such hats? Who thought that this is supposed to be a good-looking design for a character? Why not give her some specific, like remember the Inquisitor from Dawn of War 2, Warhammer 40k? Why not give character generic leather hat to wear? Why making this strange thing? Why? I don't understand. Also, what else? Also, we also have what's his name? Who else there? Emmerich. I think Emmerich, perhaps being a necromancer. Many people saying like probably this is the only decent character out of them all, because first, he is not just your specific necromancer who is an apostate and who is making his necromancy stuff in secrecy. No, there is an entire order of the faction called Moon Watchers, which is specifically for those who is into the necromancy stuff, and probably well, I know there were already in Oblivion and in Skyrim and Elder Scrolls, there were always necromancers there. They even have the name for those the guild for those necromancers. It's called as far as I remember, Black Worm Cult, I think. I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, please forgive me and correct me in the commentary. Probably, because I remember Manimarco, the one who is the most pro necromancer out of all the time in Elder Scrolls universe. He was known for creating this cult of worm, probably, and Emmerich probably the only decent character. Bellara is the new character there, which is judging by her markings, she might have been Dalish. She's from FailGuard. She's from a faction called Veil Jumpers. Those Veil Jumpers jumping, but like they're bunny hopping through those Eluvian portals every time, and they trying to find the lost relics for Dalish. Kinda. So yes, by the way, those spiders, they always spamming here all the time. Oh, and another dark spawns found here. So yes. And some people, especially if your rook is male, they also mostly romance her, but well, some people at least say she's also decent while being in style of somewhere like Meryl, kinda. Again, kinda. Well, probably two decent characters might be Emmerich and Bellara. Harding, despite her being from Inquisition, and she's also kind of a voice actress, did her best job. And I might even say, like, at least 3 characters there are likable. Even Lucian, I think. Some people like Lucian, I think. But Scout Harding, Bellara and Emmerich at least were decent. At least, even though I still remember that Emmerich was also being touched by this woke BS crap, but at least he's not talking to you about his husband or something. I might be wrong. Please correct me in commentaries if I'm wrong. And of course we have probably the most irritated, illogical, I mean, and I don't understand why they put her into this. And of course, you guessed it, I'm referring to as Tash. By the way, did you know if you try to tap on your phone Tash, the autocorrector will then correct you, and then he will then put the word not Tash but trash. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. You put you put her name into your whatever you are typing, Google, any other service for searching some stuff on the internet, and the corrector will correct you on the word not Tash but trash. Oh my god, where do I start this? By the way, what the fuck happened? I'm sorry for my language, but what the fuck happened with the Canary design? What the hell happened? They basically now are freaking humans. They have so smooth faces. Even though in the Inquisition, like, let me just give you, for example, like, where is map? Where is my Inquisition camp here? Let me just change the character for showing you the, and I even take off my helmets from the characters so you can see. Now we take with me, by the way, there is no Sarah and no Vivian. The Inquisition is the only place in Dragon Age which those 2 specific characters are freak me out, especially Vivian, because Vivian is so terrible. Like, oh, for fuck's sake, hell with Vivian, and especially that child which is called Sarah. Some people liked it. What? What? Okay. Let me go to my inventory. Let me take off my helmet. Let me take off my helmet from the character. Well, except Cole. Cole is okay. And Varric. Yes, I know. Nothing to report. Like, there. My Inquisitor. Well, I put some scars to him, like he's hardened war veteran in Inquisition, so he's no fighting. He done some fights, so he's not your typical junior dude who is trying his best. But at least look at character creator. Yes, I know so many people were blaming Bioware for having the most terrible design of especially in the hair department. Yes, but at least there are some good haircuts to wear for your Inquisitor. Not all of them, but because there are so many bold stuff, I don't know why. Here is Iron Bull. This is a Kunari. This is a Kunari. Do you look that he is freaking slim? Look at him. Look at him. He is like, you definitely see that this is not a human. This is not a human with pointy ears. Look at his horns. This is like Giga Chad of a Kunari in Inquisition. While in FailGuard, they all smooth. They all smooth. They have their faces. Their faces look like Squidward face, but with horns. But with freaking horns. And Cole. Well, yes, of course. Cole is the most strange out of them all, but he's always wearing a hat because his haircut is meh. Varric is, oh man, he's so cool. He's so cool in here in Inquisition, and I actually like his new design in the FailGuard. I'm sorry, but the thing is, Varric, after the first Varric, after the first mission, he went to bed, literally, because you know, the thing is, every time you saw him, and every time you are talking to Varric, like he's on his sick leave and all that jazz, but at the end you realize that Solas is fucked with your head, and he's making you an illusions, like Varric was always. But I don't understand. Like, this is so freaking plot hole. Why your characters didn't?
Getting a campfire going in this.
Oh, okay. It must be really funny. Why would you think that all your companions, so-called companions, will think that like, why nobody told you, like, that? I'm sorry, but Varric has died. Why they didn't tell you this? Why it's supposed to be a plot hole at the very end that you realize that Varric actually died? How can you fucking die? I mean, how can you kill off the most beloved character from Dragon Age 2, which is the perfect was perfect for as a narrator, because he was great. Varric actually was great because he was writing books. He know something about storytelling. Funny thing is, even Varric were better than those assholes who were doing that bullshit and they called it the FailGuard. Even a freaking Varric is way better at writing stuff than you assholes. Because you were so upset about doing all that stupid your agenda because you now, instead of supporting your fan base, which were giving you so many years of income for all games, for Origins, for even Dragon Age 2, Inquisition. How many copies sell Inquisition? So much for all these years. It sells so many copies, and then they give us stupid design for Canary, which is basically human now, with horn heads and different tone skins, like they are freaking dark elves, but with horns, because you can make their skin tone ash. And the only that skin tone is for drows, for dark elves, Dunmers from Elder Scrolls, which is also dark elves, and that's it. And don't get me started with that stupidity of Tosh, that trash character. They were so proud of it, and they also made this character as a story character, which is it's essential for some specific story mission. You can progress, as far as I understood, if you won't recruit Tosh. But the Tosh is the most unlikable of them all. She's this reminds me, because I doubt that so many people played Mass Effect Andromeda, because I replayed Mass Effect Andromeda a lot, and there are a character which all of the other people who is playing Mass Effect Andromeda is agreeing that the most terrible, the most irritatable character in Mass Effect Andromeda was Liam Costa. That generic black dude who is from what was he from? Security specialist, as far as I remember, he was called himself. He was basically a cop. He was basically a police dude from Earth, as far as I understood. He was the most irritatable character in Andromeda. He's like so many people saying in Mass Effect universe that Jacob Taylor is the most irritatable character out of them all. Like everyone say that Jacob is the worst, and I admit he's the worst, because especially if your Shepard is female, he cheats on Shepard, and then he said, "Oh, I'm sorry," like shut the hell up, like, dude. You literally cheated a woman you were in a relationship, and you say like sorry will be enough? Get the hell out of here, really. And Tash is I even think that the dude or gal or whatever that thing is referring to itself, I think that that thing who wrote Liam in Mass Effect Andromeda secretly go into Bioware's team, who was developing this FailGuard, they calling it, and I think the one who wrote Liam Costa wrote that stupidity of a character called Tash, because like for example, in the story of FailGuard, the world has gone to shit. Everywhere is blight again. Another blight, which is way more powerful than the 5th blight in Origins. Everywhere is dying and all that jazz. But again, Tash doesn't give a fuck about blight being terrible, and everyone is dying, but her mother, which is actually her mother, is not that terrible NPC, by the way. She's very likable despite being Kunari, because like we haven't saw that many Kunari women out of the queue, because we only saw Stan from Dragon Age Origins, who is pro Kunari as hell, and Iron Bull, which has an identity crisis, because in that way, I mean, he doesn't even understood whether he wanted to return to the queue or he wanted to be with his bull chargers, because he was with them for so many long, and he actually loved those motherfuckers, because they had so many stories, and he and as far as I understood, he liked being more of a mercenary type than actually being in the queue, because his squad was everything for him, while under the queue he was, well, you can see if you sacrifice the charges, then he will basically be very hollow, start to be again pro-Qun, and mostly his personality will mostly shatter, because because in the last final DLC, which was an epilogue for an Inquisition, he actually betrays you, because you allowed Kunari Dreadnought to be alive, and he will then betray you because of the queue. But in FailGuard, that trash, she they don't give a fuck. This thing will set in front of her mother and then said something like, "So I'm not binary." That you can feel that awkward silence. Her mother then breaks that silence and said, "What is the meaning of this? What does that mean?" And then she started that political woke BS, like, "I feel I'm not a man or a woman." Then you should actually go and find some help from some doctor, because you are mentally freaking unstable if you think that you are better being you do not like being a woman, or you like being you either like being a woman or you like being a man, and you are saying that you are not fucking binary. Who the fuck even create that BS? Why doctors think that this is a problem, and you should somehow deal with this problem? This is a mental illness. This problem should be fixed by fixing your head. You won't fix your problem if you make a surgery and remove something between your legs, or create something between your legs which weren't there even in the first place. Like, fuck, we are so many people on the internet, which is supposed to be grown people, grown persons, and so many people are picking all those topics, those subjects for, like, what are you, 8 years old, 9 years old, when children in their age asking those questions, and their parents even should give them, like, books like differences between girls and boys. For fuck's sake. I wanted a dark fantasy Dragon Age. Instead I got this purple woke rainbow bullshit. Like, once rainbow was when in the old days, when we saw rainbow, we thought of something good, something great, something beautiful. Now every time you see a freaking rainbow somewhere, it's a fucking cringe. Thanks, Cole. I know that. And by the way, I have videos about Dragon Age Keep. When the Inquisition came out, they understood that they had a problem for importing all those choices from the different games, that from Origins, which have the most options for your choices, and your warden was your warden alive? Was your warden make a dark ritual with Morrigan? Was Redcliffe safe? Were the circle mages were saved? Were the Dalish elves lift up their curse? Or they or who is the king of Orzammar? The topic which is debatable until that day. Who is better leader for Orzammar? The progressive Balin or traditionalist Harrowmont? Or who is the next king? Who is on the Ferelden's throne? Like, so many options there in Origins. You can either put Alistair on the throne, which he didn't want, but he still became a king. Was it Anora? Or you can marry Anora with Alistair, or you can, if your warden is a female, then you can mate a wedding with Alistair. Or if you're a male warden, then you can become marry Anora, and then you will have the title Prince Consort, and you're basically a version of a king there. Oh shit. So yes, like, you see so many options there, but oh, and also in Dragon Age 2, because Dragon Age 2 is the complete follow-up for the Inquisition. Because after Kirkwall and destruction of Chantry out there in Kirkwall, all that jazz started with, by the way, the story written Legacy DLC in Dragon Age 2, where we first find out about Corypheus and how the hell did he survive. Through recreation of him through that warden, whether it's Jenica or Larius. So yes, so many options, and in FailGuard you only have so few options. Like, who were your Inquisitor? I don't even think that they even referring to your class as the Inquisition, because Inquisitor just you met him in FailGuard.
You got to pick your name.
Huh?
Iron Bull.
Huh?
Sure did. Thanks for sticking the on there too. Most people forget. It kind of makes it sound like I'm not really a person, like I'm this dangerous thing, you know?
You made it a joke on yourself, making mockery, so you would never be that.
It kills the joke if you explain it, kid.
They're done? Okay. And damn it, you, thanks guys, let me remember. Your Inquisitor is showing up in FailGuard, and not even a single depiction. Was he a warrior? Was he a rogue? Was he a mate? No. He just shows up there in simple clothes. In simple fucking clothes. Oh yes, of course, and his left hand is severed because Sola severed it because that mark becoming unstable, and he would have died in Trespasser DLC. So yes, nobody says with whom Inquisitor Roman. No. the choice out there asking you who was your Inquisitor, male or a female. If you choose your gender with your Inquisitor, well then who is he romanced? Did you disband the Inquisition or not in the Trespasser DLC at the end? And what would you want to do with Solus? You want to actually kill him, or I mean, to stop him at all costs, like Inquisitor said at the end of Trespasser, like we will stop Solus at any cost, or would you try to? Right now, there's the end of 2024. We will soon face year 2025, but instead of all those years of waiting, people who is enjoying this franchise, who love the characters, who love the story, who love actions, like choices there, like gameplay, and all that jazz. Because I will tell you again, even despite if the FailGuard have okay battle system, but I heard from a lot of people that it's fun around 4 or 6 hours, I think, but then it just repetitive as hell, because they were saying to us when they were making that game that they wanted to make the system which is actually so many of people enjoyed when they played Mass Effect 2, Dragon Age 2, and I admit I like Mass Effect 2 and Dragon Age system battle combat, but this is not a freaking Borderlands 3 when we have superb gameplay but a terrible story, because everyone knows, especially those who played Borderlands 3, that game as itself, it's actually fun. Borderlands 3 as a game is actually fun, but despite the game also have all that woke jest stuff, but it's not that irrelevant, because yeah, of course there is the dude called Hammerlock and he's a gay, and there is even a DLC which it's called how is it called, love guns and tentacles, I think. This DLC, it was about their wedding, but it wasn't that woke. It wasn't about that Byrony stuff, because if there are gay dudes out there, okay, Dorian for a perfect example. Dorian, even despite he's only romanceable for a male character, the same as Sarah is only romanceable for a female character. But well, Sarah, okay, she's being lesbian and all that jazz, but like, who cares? At least her. Sarah herself, she's behaving like a child, and some people like her. I'm not big fan of her because during all my time playing Inquisition, I never saw any impact of seeing her at least changing, at least a bit in adult way, at least. And at least her romance with female Inquisitor, at least it's fun, at least, because there is a lot of places, a lot of things, especially for Sarah, which is designed around the comedy, and no all that jazz, because I only like females, I only like girls and all that jazz, because I remember in Borderlands the pre-sequel there was a character called Jenny Brings, and she was strictly then saying to everybody, especially to Mr. Targ, like, when Mr. Torque asks her, like, "You're so sweet and cool. Would you like to go with me on a date?" And then she'll say to him, "Sorry, like, so I like girls." And then, ah, damn it! Damn it! Why am I so unlucky? Something like that. Well, but not that blunt. Not that blunt. She will be your friend, etc. But no intimacy stuff. Only if you're Inquisitor or female. And even if your Inquisitor is female and you try to flirt with Dorian, he will then say, despite your being great woman, all that stuff, the women's are not for me. And then you realize why he's like that, because he did it despite he did it in order to spite for his father, because he liked company of men and his father were against it, and he tried to use blood magic in order to rearrange his mind, I think. At least you make a good explanation why he's like that. But there, oh, by the way, there are only two characters for your male rook for a romance, for a classical romance. Without all that gay stuff, without all that lesbian jazz. If you're a male, there are only two options there for a romance. But if you're an... oh, for fuck's sake, that stupid word. If you're non-binary, you have all those characters. Well, except Emmerich, I think. Except Emmerich. But get the hell away from me. Why? Why at least so many people judge Cyberpunk 2077, but at least yes, there is also probably the only one character for you to actually good for a romance. But why would you make why you alienate people like me, white dudes who didn't do anything wrong for the people? So many justice warriors who want to protect black dudes, who want to protect minority people, and all that, and all those groups. And what about consumers like myself? Why are you doing this? And those people are actually doing games with such ideologies. Like, fuck the consumers, fuck the people who we live with. We want to support the minorities, and fuck the other guy, and fuck the other dudes, girls, everyone. Minorities first. And ordinary people. Fuck you, ordinary people. Your choices doesn't matter. Yes, of course we accept your money, but you will have to eat that shit that we produce. Yes? This is their way of thinking. That's just fucking terrible, really. Like, at that point, I don't even know, can we even trust them? Because, as far as I remember, so many people now are afraid for for Mass Effect 5. Because if they saw what happened with FailGuard, and people thought that at least it would be a good RPG, but no, it wasn't even a good RPG, because there wasn't even an RPG there. Yes, you can change gear, and you can. Huh? Okay. And you can have elements of an RPG, like picking resources and finding gear and all that jazz, but still, this is not an RPG. It's not an RPG. Witcher 3 is an RPG. Inquisition is an RPG. Baldur's Gate is an RPG. Divinity Original Sin 2 is an RPG. FailGuard, The one who calls this RPG, go and play real RPGs, you idiots. And I don't want to insult you and all that stuff, even if I did it already. I'm sorry, because if you're trying to say to your audience that oh my God, like so many hate for FailGuard, why it's an okay game. I'm sorry, but even Mass Effect Andromeda is an RPG. While FailGuard is even worse than Andromeda. Can you imagine being worse than Andromeda? The game which were hated among so many people. And so many times people return to Mass Effect Andromeda and then will recreate the same videos like, were Andromeda really that bad? No, it's not. Yes, of course, the only terrible and weakest part, I admit, the weakest part of Andromeda was its side quest. Those side quests were generic as hell. Even World of Warcraft didn't do, I think, that stuff. Only for the daily quests, I think. Only, I think, for the daily quests. But story as itself in Andromeda, it wasn't that terrible, actually. Yes, of course, we have Archon, who was Disney cartoonish villain, because I want to kill you, either you ascend, or if you not want to ascend, I will kill you, and reasons. Yes, I admit, Archon is bad as a villain. Because with so many good villains in Mass Effect universe, the Archon is the weakest. Even Saren from the very first Mass Effect, he was great villain, and I even wanted for him to recreate him again and return him in Mass Effect 3, instead of making Elusive Man being a bad dude, which is actually tried to help in the second game, because that's because the people like Drew Corporation is geniuses in storytelling in right screen, because he created so many good games like Knights of the Old Republic, like all this story for and the world building for Mass Effect is him, and well, mostly him, but Casey Hudson has also done something for Mass Effect in order for the creation of this, but and those assholes who made FailGuard, and especially write this, saying that this is the best Dragon Age they ever created? Really? Really? Stop praising yourself. Because at this point you're just praising yourself for, oh, I'm so great, I'm so good at screenwriting. Oh, why you're hating me for the FailGuard? We were trying this so hard. Can you imagine how many times? No, if you tried it, at least you tried it, and then the game won't be criticized from every corner of YouTube right now. And right now we have the same problem with another analog game of Elder Scrolls, which is called Avowed, I think is the name, and it just has the same problem. And it's crazy that the dude out there, who is not a game director, he's an art director. He's not even main dude at the game. I'm not waiting for this game because I don't have an Xbox, I only have PlayStation. I'm sorry. Because Microsoft, it's not, well, I digress. It's not about Microsoft, but still I don't have it. I only have PlayStation. We'll soon get PlayStation 5, but still. Sorry, my controller is offline because battery is dead. Battery is dead. There it is. There it is. And it has the same problem as FailGuard, because the direct art, like, think of it, our director said, because like I don't understand why these so-called director, like the dude who is co-director of the recent God of Wars, who is also putting this position that he likes to defend all those minority people and the black dudes, despite they have talent or not, and white dudes like him, they should be cancelled. It is literally their sentence, literally. And it has the same problem as FailGuard, and this art director even said, I made this game in order to spite Elon Musk. Like, what the hell is your problem, dude? Yeah, I know, sometimes Elon Musk is, sometimes he's saying good things, sometimes he's saying bad things. That's what makes us human. We sometimes say stupid shit, and sometimes we say very clever shit. That's why, and I don't understand why companies still think that they put those stupidity in their games and they would be a success. No, you will only have more and more and more failed projects unless you won't realize that this policy is only made you towards bankruptcy, and that is not helping and not working, because people not accepting this, and they will never accept this. How many times should people tell you that they don't want all that jazz? Look at the recent game, which is called, as far as I remember, Star Wars Jedi Survivors. There was no that BS there. A original story about a main character, and the main characters also fell in love with that Amirian witch that she met her in the very first Jedi Fallen Order. People like this. They don't want this BS. So I already made a lot of saying now that thank you, Bioware, for killing the game which I waited for so long. You not only killed one of my beloved characters in Dragon Age, Varric, because from the second game he was so pleased, so fleshed out character, and in the end you just killed him. And also for butchering Morrigan from Origins, because in this save I doubt she's even here, but Morrigan in Origins she was very gorgeous character. Of course she was in my personal opinion, of course she was hateful bitch in Origins, at least. Because she doesn't give a fuck about anyone. At least somebody is at least something is not benefiting her own self. Like, she was very cynical, very freaking cynical. Beautiful as witch, because she's a witch. How she's not being beautiful? Just a second. Let us continue on our conversation. And I was saying that she was a witch, and so many people were vivid about that. Oh, she's just too beautiful, too perfect. She's a witch. She is a witch. Everywhere in fantasy genres, everywhere, witches are beautiful. Via magic, via potions, whatever. That's why in every folklore, in all of your countries out in the world, everyone will say that witches, they are either all hags or a beautiful women. That's all. And FailGuard is actually butchered the identity of Morrigan, because she's kind of a now Flemeth 2.0. Is this what she wanted? She fucking hated when someone were comparing her to her own mother, because she always hated that. Every time Alistair in Origin tried to troll her, she was worried with this. She even referred to Alistair when she did that. You have your mother's nose, and she was in. I'll hate you so much. Can you imagine? And that's why Morrigan is like this. Just a second. And the last one who they butchered and let her identity to just completely reverse, change, dead. Isabella. Oh, for God's sake. Isabella in Dragon Age 2, she was so cool. Like, she doesn't give anybody to order her around or anything. And she always have these jokes about sex and all that stuff. And even Aveline in second game always referred to as whore every time. And what happened with her chest, with whatever you like to call it, politically chest, boobs, tits, whatever, like they freaking cut it off, like they cut off her breasts. What the hell? And she always wore funny, always positive knowledges, but then they give you that strange scene when she referred to trash as she instead of they, and she will then go and pulling a barf. Tradition among lords of fortune. If someone misgender them non-properly, they have to do 10 push-ups. 10 fucking push-ups. Who the fuck wrote this crap? Is this supposed to be a fantasy game? Where everyone is apologizing to everyone about mispronouncing their gender? Really? You are so freaking terrible, Bioware, for making this. This is probably will be my last sentences which I will save, because I already said too much, and I know already people have made a lot of videos, but whatever. Thank you for not giving me the game I wanted for 10 fucking years. Because instead of good game, you give me a mediocre. At least Andromeda were enjoyable, but this a linear game, not action based RPG or anything. It's just game, and it's not good enough. The funny thing is that FailGuard sell way fewer digital copies than Star Wars Outlaws. And even though I'm a big fan of Star Wars and I at least understood something about the lore there, but as far as I understood, long story short, this is actually Star Wars about Han Solo, but instead of Han Solo we have a female character. Long story short, as far as I understood. And it should be embarrassed that the game from Ubisoft in Star Wars genre were doing much greater than FailGuard, which they spent 10 years, so much resources, a lot of money for this. for this BS they calling the best genre of RPG. I even thinking that now that Larian is the new Bioware.
Do you ever worry that a demon could be standing off to the left where your eye can't see?
Well, I do now.
Thanks, guys. Anyway, I'm really upset. I wanted to try at least this game, but now I don't know. Giving a try or trying it via the sales and discounts, because I don't want to give them a full fucking price for this garbage. Even Angry Joe show give you enough. And by the way, they even copying the Inquisition, because Corypheus is replaced by those two idiots. They spell their name all the time as Elganon and Gillenane. Like, it's this name probably spelled for maybe 80,000 times when you are playing FailGuard. Every freaking time. It's Elganon and Gillenane, Elganon and Gillenane, Elganon and Gillenane, Elganon and Gillenane. Like, can you make something else? Because this is really, really fucking terrible. Corypheus were more interesting because he was from the second game again. The way how he behaved as a villain, like he had some motive. But Elganon and Gillenane, their motivation: we want to blight everyone. We like blight. We like darkspawn. All that bullcrap. While Corypheus used different methods, different companies wanted to use Grey Wardens, wanted to use the demon armies, wanted all of that jazz, but there, it's fucking terrible. It's fucking terrible. And especially their look, Elganon and Gillenane, their generic body type shit. Well, at least, even though Corypheus was a human, but he was a darkspawn. But at least he was menacing. He also had dragons, but those bastards also have dragons. But at least that dragon were interestingly designed. Dragon which is spitting, instead of fire, spitting dark red lyrium shards. That was pretty cool. But then it's just terrible. It's freaking terrible. So again, thank you Bioware for ruining my wait for this 10-year wait. Thank you very much. If you continue this route, then you'll soon cease to exist. Definitely that will happen if you won't continue this route. Look at Disney, how they rejecting all that stuff because money talks. Look at Deadpool. While all the other projects with all that woke shit doesn't make any sense and won't give them any profit or money. While Deadpool, with their controversy jokes and all that dark humor, look at the sales. How much Deadpool give them in income, and how many they spend and won't receive any of those numbers in income when they do all this woke jazz. Acolyte, for example. Thank you guys for listening to this rant, because many people tried, and everyone is saying like, don't try it, don't buy it. Maybe in the future, maybe I'll give the FailGuard maybe $5 in order to get this, but not a full price tag of $80. that piece of crap they called art is not even worth to spend such amount of money. It's not. This was Albert Wesker. Thank you for this rant. Unlike those idiots, I'm free to speak whatever I want. So, stay safe, play good video games, fuck all that BS wokeness, and I'll see you around.